Okay. That's the way to turn it off and on?
That's turn off and on.
This is off and this is on?
No, that's to pause it, and that's to,
Off and on?
yeah. At the end of the show, we'll hit that button.
Okay, beseder. Likutei Moharan, Terech Chaf Aleph. We're holding by Seif Hey. So after we have explained that when a person sanctifies the 7 candles, his mouth, his nose, his eyes, and his ears, he merits that his brain gets, that his brain, that divine bounty flows into his brain. And the external part of the seichel, which we call the makif, enters in. It goes in. You understand it? That causes his heart to burn constantly, enthusiastically to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And he gets new diburim, which is Ruach HaKodesh, to speak before Hashem. We explained this with the mitzvah of Sukkah, Yezoichet, to this Shefa Eloki. We also explained that there are 2 types of makifim. Makifim, per se, are attainments, intellectual, spiritual, divine, hasagas, attainments, understanding, comprehension, which are at this point in time beyond us. That's the thing we don't know yet. So we said that there were 2 types of such makifim. There are makifim which cannot be understood in this world at all, like the understanding of the paradox of Hashem's pre-knowledge of events and our free choice to choose whatever we're going to do. Which supposedly, if Hashem already knows what we're going to choose, we don't have free choice. You know? Free choice means we can choose whatever it is we want, so how can Hashem know before? So this paradox is a result of the limitness of our mental capacity. In the future, when our mental capacity will grow, we will exit the confines of human comprehension and reach that of angelic comprehension. Once you achieve that understanding, once you understand the conflict of the paradox of the idea of the Bechira, once you understand it, you no longer have Bechira. That is the state of angels. So one kind of makifim is hasagas, attainments, mental achievements which are not possible at this point in time, as long as we are within the boundaries of human intellect. That's one type of makif. However, there are another type of makifah, and that is the things that we don't know yet here. Now, it is possible with human intellect to understand them. But we don't. These makifim are being brought in through the sanctification of the 7 candles of the candelabra. Bringing in those makifim this is Ruach HaKodesh, it brings it in. When it brings it in, once you bring it in, then, the heart flames up and so forth and so on. Now the Rebbe says that this particular principle has another manifestation, has another synonym, so to speak. This is chuppah and kiddushin. When the chosan and kala and the bride and groom, when they get married, they have chuppah and kiddushin in the 7 days of Mishta. You know, what we call Sheva Brachos. That 7 days you eat a Suda with the Chas and Kala, and during that particular Suda, the 7 benedictions, the 7 brachas are being recited. This is the same principle of the 7 candles of the candelabra, and it is also analogous to the 7 days Lalein of Avelis, of Shiva. And the Rebbe says like this: V'zeh pchinas kiddushin. And this divine bounty is also an aspect of kiddushin, of chasana, pchinas chuppah. Ki shefa Elokia, now that particular divine bounty that is bestowed on somebody who sanctifies the 7 candles, Upchinas Kodesh, that's an aspect of holiness. Well, as we said before, now Kiddushin, in marriage, you know, the man is Mekadesh the woman. The man sanctifies the woman to become his wife. So the Kiddushin, they allude to Kodesh. The Shefa Eloki, that, as we said, is Makifin, that surrounds, this is the Chuppah, that's the canopy, which is held above the Chosan and Kala. Because the Chuppah surrounds the person. And that alludes to the Makifin. And this is what Chazal said, that in the future, Kadosh Baruch Hu is going to make chuppah for every tzaddik. He's going to have a chuppah, a canopy, every single tzaddik. And every tzaddik is scolded by the chuppah of his friend. V'chol tzaddik v'tzaddik nichva b'chuposo shel chaveiro. And Chazal continue, oy lo isa busha, oy lo isa klima. Woe to that shame, woe to that embarrassment, that the smaller tzaddik gets scalded, gets burnt from the chuppah of the bigger tzaddik. That's a big busha for the smaller tzaddik. You know, he himself is burnt by the chuppah that his friend is sitting in comfortably. And alluded to in this, because the chuppah of every single tzaddik is the Ora Makif, the light of the Makif. It doesn't get into the Seichel yet. As we said, the chuppah is Makif, as we said before. The Makif is the thing that surrounds the Moech and doesn't get into it. And that which each tzaddik gets burnt from the chuppah of his fellow tzaddik, ki ha-makif shel zeh, of this tzaddik, gadol mi-makif shel zeh, is greater than the makif of the smaller tzaddik. V'ha-seichel, and the seichel, shu makif lezeh, that is the surrounding seichel. Now, it's not the inner seichel, it's not something that he already owns. It's just, you know, in reserve. That's the future knowledge of the smaller tzaddik. It doesn't get into smayach. Upnimi lezeh, it is inner and is known and is owned by the bigger tzaddik. So that tzaddik mimela, since that which is beyond the smaller tzaddik, for him is already accessible, obviously means that he has a chuppah, which is far greater than that. And this smaller tzaddik, when he is zoiche to attain this makif and make a pnimi from it, to bring it inside his brain, is burnt up by it. It's like excited because we said the minute the makif comes in, you know, the heart burns up, right? You get excited. You're like, wow, unbelievable, and everything, you know. But the bigger tzaddik, you know, the bigger tzaddik, that his seichel, that seichel is a pnimi by him. It's a simple thing. It's not a big deal. So it's already, he doesn't get excited with this. Because now he already attains far greater things. Far more awesome divine asagas. But this is what he said, which are makif by him. In other words, when he gets those makifim, and then he gets excited. Bigger tzaddik. This is what he says. The kol tzaddik nichva, every tzaddik burns up. In other words, burns up and he gets excited and he gets a nuchapasa shel chavera from the asaga that by his friend was a davar pashut. It doesn't do anything to his friend. It doesn't heat him up at all. That he himself has to heat himself up and this by a much, much higher makif. After we explain the Shef Eloki is chuppah, we'll explain Zeh Pchinos Shivas Yimei HaMishta. This is the 7 days of rejoicing after the Chasan. Shachar HaChuppah. Haynu Pchinos Shivas Haneres. This is the 7 candles. Shaladam Yikanes HaMakiv Lifnim. This will bring the makif inside. In other words, because the Chasan and Kala are standing under the chuppah, there's a new Shefa Eloki that comes in the time of chuppah, and it still surrounds them. It doesn't come in, it's a makif. It's not a pnimi, it's a makif. This is where the chuppah is, that's why the canopy is there. You get a new seichel. Seichel of being husband and wife, it's a whole different asaga. So this is makif, you know, there's a new light that comes in this makif, it surrounds them. So now you need a mechanism to bring it in. To bring it in is Shivas Neres at all times. Sanctification of the 7 candles is the thing that brings down the makif. That's why you have the 7 days, Shivas Yimei HaMishta. You have the Sheva Brachas, which is a bechina of the 7 candles, that they excite the moyach, so that the makif will come in. And also, Zeh Pchinas Shivas Yimei Avelos, the 7 days of mourning, Lo Aleinu Achmonu Litzlan, that people, you know, sit after somebody, Lo Aleinu, passes away. Shemisablim Olav Al Shnistalech Nishmosim, you know, the mourning that his neshama has left. Why? Kedeshiyal Nishmosim Lo Raponim, so that his neshama will ascend, will go up into Oraponim. Aladei Shiva Yom Elu, through these 7 days. In other words, his neshama is supposed to go up to the place where the divine bounty originates. That particular porter, that particular route. This is a supernal spiritual portal, which is called Oraponim, the light of the face. And that's why the Shefa Eloki itself is called Ponim, as we said before in Seif Aleph. It's called Ponim because it comes from Oraponim, the light of the face. These 7 days are the 7 candles, right? They elevate the neshama of the deceased to the bechina of Oraponim. As we said before in Ois Beis, that the 7 candles of the koyach to bring the ponim to a person. Same way they have the koyach to bring the neshama to ponim. In other words, it brings them together, either this way or that way. If the person is in this world, it brings the ponim down. If the person leaves this world, it brings the neshama up until for today. But the basic thing that we need to understand about this thing is that the union of 7 candles, which is a bechina of Sheva, of 7. 7 denotes the concept of time and place. This world, everything happens during the 7 days of the week. A bechina of 8th day doesn't exist. It's a cycle of 7 and 7 and 7 and 7. The concept of the 8th day is when you count the spheres from down, you count them up. So the 7 from Malchus, you reach all the way to Chesed. Above that, you have the Bina and the Chochmah and the Kesed. The 8th day is called Olam Abina. Or rather, the Olam Abina is called the 8th day. Because it is beyond time and place. 7, up, down, left, right, forward, backwards, in the middle, this world, 7 days of the week. This is nature. The 8th day is the light of the Bina. That's the concept. That's beyond the physical. That's why the miracle of Hanukkah is the 8th day. You know, there's the famous kasha of the Baal Shulchan Aruch that he says, why are we celebrating 8th day of Hanukkah? The miracle was only 7 days. It was enough oil for 1 day. So 1 day wasn't a miracle. It burned for 8 days, which means the miracle was 7 days. 1 day, it's natural. And there is, Nosson explains in the Likutei Moharan that there is, oops, I'm sorry, I apologize. I promise I will never do it again, if I can help it. Wait, this is all, okay. There are 2 shitas on how many candles, how do you light the candles on Hanukkah, which is the next holiday that is coming. So, Beth Shammai said, first day you light 8, second day 7, 6th day 6, and so forth and so on, until the last day you light 1. Beth Hillel says fakir. The first day you light 1, the second day 2, the third day 3. You should malin b'kodesh because you elevate b'kodesh. So Nosson explains that Olam Abina does not belong to the natural realm. It is totally nistar. It is totally concealed. The first day, or the 8th day, whichever way you want to look at it, the Yom HaShmini, this is where the miracle is. It is the miracle that is hidden in plain sight. There's enough oil for 1 day. But this miracle, this oil is already a miracle oil in the fact that it burns the rest of the days. Is just a revelation of the fact that this is a miraculous oil. When you look at it the first day, you don't know this oil is going to burn for 8 days. But in fact, the entire miracle happens in what you call Yom HaShmini, from the Bina. The second day is just, you reveal, wow, this is unusual. The third is a bigger wow, the third bigger wow, you know. But these are just a revelation of the secret that was concealed in plain sight. This is just oil, which is good for 1 day. So that's why we celebrate 8 days. With 1 day, a total secret. You don't even see the miracle in that day. But that day, in fact, is the miracle. This is where the miracle happens. So we say, La'asid lavoi, halacha kibes shamai. We say it in all things. That's Beis Shammai says the first day, being that's the main miracle. You have to light 8 candles. The rest of the days, the miracle dwindles and dwindles and dwindles and dwindles all the way until the last day. Last day is like it just proves, it just shows what was in the first day. But Sira says we live in this world. We live in this world. The judge only has that which his eyes can see. You don't see a miracle, you do 1 candle. Then you see, another miracle, 2. Bigger miracle, yofi, 3. It's all about what we see in this world. We live in the here and now. Beis Shammai lives in La'asid lavoi, that you already realize that the main miracle was on the first day. Because that's the 8 days and that's the way it goes down. This whole union of the 8th day, this is the union of Makif. The Makif. Because the Bina and the Chokhmah are one. The Abba ve'Ima, they never separate. That's why it's saying Shir Shirim, come see the glory of the King. Yom Chassanato Shel B'chuppah she'asa lo imoi, in the chuppah that his mother made him. It's a rejoicing, the celebration of the marriage of Shlomo, of the Melech, and come see the chuppah that his mother made him. That's the bina that makes the makifim. And all the tikkunim that we have in this world are in this Im of 7. The main tikkun is the Shivas Aniros. Hashem should bless us with the seichel to do it, not to look what we're not supposed to look, not to say what we're not supposed to say. We fell every day. Shem Yelchem Tov, B'ezrat Hashem, that's what we have Rabbeinu.